So here we are, we're gonna do 5 more track patterns, small scenarios. And let's introduce the concept of pushes and pulls. This is pretty interesting, and it's a central part of tracking. So let's say I'm on a walk with intent, and I see something that's interesting to me off to my left. Okay. So I'm pulled towards it. So then I look away, I continue on my way. Let's check out those tracks. All right, here I am. We've got our walk with intent, and then what happens here? Not only do we've got this toe disc in the right track that speaks of a turn, but then we've got here I am, toes pointed off in this direction. We get like these little flarings here. That's pointing forward, another flaring, right? Another one. And then it seems to kind of resolve itself, right? So that is a pull towards an object of interest. All right, we did a pull. Let's now do a push. So again, there's an object of interest off to my left, perhaps at some point, grabs my attention. I start off with a walk with intent. I'm going somewhere with a goal, and yet, whoa, something happens. Maybe there's a fight, maybe there's a loud noise. Anyway, it's pushing me away from it. It doesn't feel safe. So I turn back and I continue on my way. Let's check out those tracks. So here's my walk with intent, going very straight. And then, wow, something happened. We've got a plate off the right ball of the foot. We've got a dish. Some kind of action caused me to turn. There's a little bit of braking forces right there. And then a push off the side. But the idea being, look how squashed flat this line of tracks. Now remember the S curve? Now if this was an actual pull, I would be naturally pulled out of the line of travel towards the object of interest. But look how much I'm almost being squashed against that line of travel. I'm flaring out, my hips are flaring out. I'm definitely looking in that direction, pulled in that, or rather, my attention is pulled, but my body is pushed. There's definitely an urge to protect myself here. And then you see it resolve, and I go off into the distance. So that's a push, right? Where there ought to be an S curve, because my head is looking off to my left. There's no S curve. It's been squashed flat. What this can do is create interesting variations. So let's say that I'm going to combine that with a stop. I'm going to stop and be pulled with interest, right? Oh, wow, that looks interesting over there. Yeah, maybe there's someone doing parkour or some beautiful waterfowl, who knows? But I'm pulled, and then I continue on my way, right? Let's check out those. So if I'm genuinely pulled, I should deviate somewhat from my line of travel, and there it is, right? I've stopped. Now, of course, it's a little hard to see, but there's my waffle pattern, right? There's my stop track pattern. And then I continue on my way. So that is a pull combined with a stop. Let's now try a push combined with walking. And then off to my left, whoa, something happens, and I just have to pause and check it out. Make sure I'm safe. Maybe my hand's to my mouth. Maybe I'm shocked. Maybe I'm got my cell phone up and I'm recording something scary and sending it off to social media. But in any case, it resolves, and then I head back on my way. Now let's check out those tracks. Got that line of travel. Headed off this way. Everything seems pretty normal. And then we've got a deviation. It almost looks like a pull. So let's keep looking what's going on. I didn't stop moving. There's the right foot. And then, wow, I'm walking backwards. So this foot has come all the way over here. This foot has come this way. So I am on this side you'll see as it continues, of the line of travel, I've been pushed away from my object of interest. And when I resolve, it's almost like I step back into the line of travel. So that is a stop with a push. I have been pushed away from something that is threatening, intimidating. So we had a little bit of fun with pulls and pushes. Let's try another kind of stop that we'll call a stop and squat. So I'm walking along, walk with intent, and then I see something. I just want to check it out. So I'm squatting down and I'm looking at it. Maybe it's a cool track. Maybe there's some hand markings. And then I'm ready to get up and I keep walking. All right, let's check out those tracks so we can see. Here I am. Here I am. And here's our stop. Okay, let's check that out. Now, what's interesting about the stop, that I'm squatted down on my toes. Now, there's a few different ways I can tell that. One way is you'll see that the heels aren't really visible. There's not really any heel marks. Also, the toe pitch is way out, right? And from a pressure release point of view, of course, there's an intense amount of energy, downward forces in the track. We've got cresting at the front of the track, some ridges, a lot of depth. So that's what a stop and a squat looks like. And then, of course, you powering off of this foot, I move left, right, left, and I continue on my way. As you can see, there's also the markings with my hand. I picked something up or poked at something, an interesting insect, who knows. Now, I went ahead and I made a stop and stand right next to this track, just so you could see the difference, right? So let's check that out. Right, so you can see heels aren't visible at the very end here. Heels are essentially completely visible, right? You'll see intense amount of action, pressure releases in the toes and balls, not so much over here. Now, on a previous stop, of course, one track was almost missing because it was never used to drive motive force. But of course here, I came in, stopped, and then this track, if I had driven off this foot, maybe this track would have been invisible, but I didn't, right? So they're both, they both have a lot of entry and exit. So that got us up to another 5. I think we're up to 15. See you next time, and we'll see what other scenarios we can come up with.